Hello everyone! In this video I will talk about my thoughts on Kingdom Hearts 3. I've been a fan of the franchise since the first game came out, so it's only normal that I had huge expectations about this latest game that I've been waiting for more than 10 years. I have finished the game for a few days now, and I thought about replaying it in order to see if my critics were truly founded. However, I thought it was better that I give my raw opinion just as I finished the game. These critics built up throughout the whole game and created a kind of frustration in me that I feel I needed to share with other fans. Before I start, I want you to know that this is only my opinion and that I respect every other opinion. I want to show my respects to the whole team that's been working on this great game on a technical point of view. The graphics are amazing, the gameplay is smooth and pleasant, each world has its own dynamic that makes you feel like you're doing something different each time. And finally, story-wise, the game gave us a closure regarding Xehanort, the Birth by Sleep trio, or even the Roxas trio, so that is a good point. If you're looking for a positive review, there are probably plenty of videos selling the good qualities of the game, which again, I do not deny. It's just that as far as I'm concerned, I had a lot of expectations regarding the game, and I must say that none of them were quite fulfilled. Again, I respect the work that's been put in the game, and it's more about the content, or rather the lack of content, that I am upset about. For anyone who hasn't completed the game, there will be spoilers, so beware. Given that Kingdom Hearts 1 and Kingdom Hearts 2 are my basis of comparison, I felt like Kingdom Hearts 3 didn't have much to offer, besides maybe the fact that we can now walk on walls or jump for really high locations. I have such a great memory of Kingdom Hearts 2 that blew a wind of freshness and upgrade regarding Kingdom Hearts 1, and I didn't find this energy as far as Kingdom Hearts 3 is concerned. And without further ado, let us begin this section I love to call Let's Rant About Kingdom Hearts 3. First off, I want to talk about the various worlds we can visit. One of the most frustrating parts about my Kingdom Hearts 3 journey was the lack of surprise regarding the worlds that we were able to visit. If I'm right, there are like 9 worlds to visit. The Caribbeans, Arendelle, Corona, Monstropolis, Olympus, San Francisco, Toy Box, 100 Acre Wood, and Twilight Town. And don't get me wrong, I do realize how much work has been put into the making of the worlds in Kingdom Hearts 3. The annoying part was more that, well, we already knew all the worlds that were put in the game thanks to the trailers, and the lack of element of surprise was a big source of disappointment for me. It made me rush into finishing one world's story in order to find out if maybe a location I wasn't aware of would be unlocked. And sadly, it didn't happen. So this one's not necessarily on the game, but rather on the promotion around it. Indeed, the trailers truly showed us everything the game had to offer, leaving no element of surprise in the game, nothing that the player had to discover on their own. And well, this is unforgivable for me. Regarding the worlds, there's a second aspect of it that I really hated. It's this corridor aspect and the fact that there wasn't that much content in the worlds. In Kingdom Hearts 2, through the scenario, they managed to make us go back to the worlds after we exited them the first time. Moreover, the worlds felt more complete because of the fighting spots, the hidden content, and the side quests they all individually offered. There was a motivation to go back in already visited worlds. As for Kingdom Hearts 3, sure, the worlds were big and breathtaking, but it didn't feel that there was much to do in these big spaces. Searching for Mickey Mouse heads or ingredients wasn't motivating enough for me to go back to the world. During the scenario, all you had to do was move forward until the next cutscene. The game didn't allow us to get lost like the previous ones led us to. In Kingdom Hearts 1, you could just wander in Traverse Town, Atlantica, or in Kingdom Hearts 2, you could just search through Agrabah, Twilight Town, or Radiant Garden. There wasn't such a possibility in Kingdom Hearts 3. Even though the spaces were big, it didn't give you the impression that there was much to do. The least that could have been done was to split the scenarios in each world so that the player would have a sense of choosing where to go and not undergo the scenario. In conclusion, the game felt flat and linear because of the lack of surprise and the lack of extra content in the worlds. I'm not really interested in robot fights, 2D Game Boy games, or parkouring in cities when I'm playing Kingdom Hearts. What I wanted was secret summons, or weapons to find, mysterious doors, or chests to unlock. Those are the contents that make me wander in worlds in order to search for clues or content. A final critic I have towards the worlds concerns the things that I thought I would be able to do and didn't get to do. I have been waiting for the game for more than 10 years, and of course there were places I wanted to see. As I discovered the ability to walk on walls, I thought I could at least climb the clock in Twilight Town. Since how important that place is to the game, I thought they could have at least made us do that. Another thing I thought I could do is to visit important places, especially since the game is closing a big chapter. It feels like the developers team didn't take into account the fact that so many of us grew up with the game and was creating for memories. Why couldn't we take a tour in the Destiny Islands or Traverse Town or any other worlds that mean something for the saga? And one of the most frustrating things for me was the total absence of the raiding garden from the game. The place is so important for the story, no matter what protagonist, but you don't get to go there? Now, as for the story, again, one of the critiques is that there is no elements of surprise. The main plot the trailer created was the Aquanaut anti-Aqua scene. We knew that would happen. I was expecting to come to the point where the scene is shown in a dramatic moment, and I thought it would introduce a big part of the game. It was only a 2-minute story starting with, "You didn't come for me? Now I'm angry," and ending with Sora coming 30 seconds later out of nowhere to fight this 10-year-old anger, and everything's fine, and they're on the Destiny Islands, and everyone's happy. What? Is this really what these people deserved? As for the big plot, we already knew it was about the closure and the Keyblade War coming back again. But where is the climax? There was nothing unexpected, unless they were preparing a sad ending, which I hoped for at some point because I was unimpressed with the whole game. Only once I thought, oh, they didn't, and it was when Donald used his Zeta Flare. And I thought it's the ultimate sacrifice, and finally something unexpected is happening, and the most beloved character is dying, sacrificing himself for Sora with who he... Oh, never mind, we're resetting the timeline.
Doesn't make me feel anything.
The Aquanaut story is a great example of how they took shortcuts to explain elements that could have been otherwise great drama material. I felt the same things as I felt when I was playing Birth by Sleep, except that this time I couldn't forgive Kingdom Hearts 3, which wasn't a fill-in game like BBS was. Every time I thought I will finally get into the story, I got a quick cutscene, usually consisting of a member of the organization coming and making fun of the trio and leaving. I cannot be real angry about this though, because we got some kind of story at the end. The whole Keyblade graveyard scenes, it's to my opinion what saves the game, but I won't develop this aspect here. Another thing that made the game feel rushed are the plot holes introducing the idea that DLCs or other fill-in games will be produced between Kingdom Hearts 3 and Kingdom Hearts 4 in the future.
Do you think I'm an idiot?
This is actually the very first thing that hit me as we were shown that Riku and Miki start a journey on their own, or that Kairi and Axel are having a separate training. It ends up with us being told something important happened, and all of that makes the story feel not so smooth. Now, there is a sensitive subject to talk about, and it is probably the one that really drove me mad. Where are the Final Fantasy characters? Kingdom Hearts is a crossover between Final Fantasy and Disney.
What part of that do you not understand?
It is actually how I explain the game to people. It's not like Leon is the very first person Sora meets once he starts his journey, or that the whole Cid, Yuffie, Tifa, Aeris squad played a big role in the previous games, or that, I don't know, Sephiroth is the notorious secret boss. What happened? How dare they disrespect the very core of the game like that? I really hoped until the very end that we would at some point see the Final Fantasy characters. Every time we were seeing the raiding garden, I was hoping that at some point I would land there. But nothing happened. Kingdom Hearts 3 forgot the entirety of the previous games. when Kingdom Hearts 2 was obviously referring to Kingdom Hearts 1, in Kingdom Hearts 3, there is absolutely no mention to any other classic Disney worlds previously visited, besides, let's say, the summonings. And there's no mention to the Final Fantasy characters that we met along the journey. Whereas the whole game keeps on insisting on how Sora is having a huge heart and making tons of friends. This is a bonus critique. I am tired of this dynamic of having a trio consisting in 2 boys and a girl, and having the girl, in this case Kairi, being totally useless. And what is this love scene they try to create between Kairi and Sora? Ugh, this was too much. And what's next? Riku Namine? What? For real, I'm happy with the relationship being an unromantic love, especially when during the whole game they couldn't give less about each other. Okay, so I've had a lot of trouble uploading my video as a whole, so I decided to split it in 2 pieces. So please do not hesitate to check the second part of my critique.